on, and we're going to count back because Justin's going to cut it for us. So, okay.
I have to make sure I'm.
You're perfect.
Good.
Okay. Yep. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. This is Nikki Klegel with Fulfill Your Legacy, and I'm so happy you are here with us on another episode of Live in Life Within the Sweet Spot. I am an author, a coach, and a speaker, and I help people get their life a God partnered and tap into all the Trinity offers so they are empowered by the work they do, the health they're in, and the relationships they have. So today, I am super happy because we're doing a little episode that has to do with my book coming out. It is Embracing the Loving Legacy as for Me and My House. And so you can see my guest here is Shemane Nugent, one of my friends who's really awesome. I just love her. But she has a really important message that kind of carries with her in a lot of things that she does, a lot of the work she does, the passion that's feeding her, I guess. And so I want her to really speak on this. She knows much more about it than me. So Shemane, tell everyone a little bit about you in case they don't know who you are, what you do, and then we'll get in.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Nikki, for having me. I will say yes to anything that you're doing. I got this text early this morning. I'm like, yes, I'll do it. Although I'm losing my voice slightly, so I apologize for that. I am a healthy lifestyle expert. I've been teaching group fitness classes since 1980. I have gained and lost over 100 pounds during the course of my life, and I figured out how to maintain my weight without giving up my favorite foods. But I was also stricken with a life-threatening illness that caused me to have preemphysema. And I'm so glad that you wanted me to talk about this today because I unfortunately am also known as the mold lady. I know way too much about mold and I'd love to share it with your audience. And it is very, very deadly. In fact, every day I get messages from people asking me questions about how I healed myself and my family from toxic mold exposure, which happened between the walls of my home that was featured on MTV Cribs. We never saw anything. We just kept getting sicker and sicker. My migraines were so debilitating. The insomnia was unbelievable. Chronic fatigue, flu-like symptoms, upper respiratory symptoms, restless leg, restless body. So many symptoms mimicking other illnesses like fibromyalgia and other things. But I became my own investigative sleuth because of my healthy lifestyle background and teaching group fitness classes. I thought, this shouldn't be happening to me. I should be the walking poster child for health and fitness, not at the hospital getting migraine medication. So I did find out so much about mold, Nikki, and I'm so glad that I'm here today because I'd love to answer any questions that you might have. It's serious. It's deadly. And now they are finding out that so many other illnesses, chronic inflammation illnesses like fibromyalgia, ADD, epilepsy, Alzheimer's, and even cancer are all related to mold. And I'm going to be sharing all this information in a documentary that I have coming out in 2020. I have a little bit of information in a book, my second edition of my 4 Minutes to Happy book. The ebook will be available in December, and then the hardcover will be out in March 2020. I've got so many things going on, and tomorrow I'm in a local charity event to help raise money for sheltered dogs and cats. Who could say no? Right. So I would love it if anyone is interested in supporting it. They can vote. Each vote is $25, and it all goes to the Humane Society of Naples, Florida. And I'm sure you're going to have the link, but it's by texting 52182. That's 52182. And in the comment section, you can write Dancing 2019 as one word.
Okay, I got that written down, and I will put that in the comments. So you just said so much in one spot. I want to make sure that I to give it good due diligence. So basically, one thing comes to mind. So this whole section is about faith and your health, and so I think a lot of people. I am a believer of medicine. And yet I'm a believer of like organic and being clean, and you're the same way. We know that we love these doctors. I mean, they have things that we need, but we can't ignore our symptoms, and we can't understand there's a lot that we can do just to try to be clean, and you have a lot of eating stuff that way. But your house, you had doctors telling you, it was everything else under the sun, but it was really this mold. And so what are some symptoms that they can be mindful of, or should they do a home check or something? Like, how can we catch this?
Well, the first thing, if you think you have mold in your house, you probably do. Most of us have been exposed to toxic mold, but I want to tell you that there are 1,000 different types of mold. There are a few that are deadly. There have been 12 huge celebrities like Dr. Oz, Muhammad Ali, Erin Brockovich, and a lot of others. Even actress Brittany Murphy died because of toxic mold exposure. So this is nothing to take lightly. Now, if you do think that you've been exposed or might have been exposed, here are there are a lot of things I could tell you, but basically, if you have a porous substance like drywall or sheetrock, whatever part of the world that you call it, because in Texas we call it sheetrock, and Michigan we call it drywall. Water infiltration and lack of ventilation, you will have mold. If it's left to sit between 36 and 72 hours, you could have one of the few deadly types of mold. A lot of people have said, well, where was your house? Doesn't matter. That's like saying, well, right now I'm in Florida and it's 90 degrees outside, but I'm in air conditioning and I'm cold. So it matters what's going on inside, between the walls of your home. And for us, again, it was between the walls. We never saw anything. You have a water infiltration. You've got a leaky basement, maybe water. A lot of times it could be water underneath the kitchen sink or in places like underneath the bathroom sink. Sometimes you just don't check there. So be cognizant of that. Now, if you find a water leak that's been sitting there, the best thing that you could do is get your house tested. Now, there's a $30 kit that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot, and that'll give you the basic. It won't tell you everything you need to know. And when this happened to me, nobody was talking about mold 18 years ago. So I had to become my own investigative sleuth. I had to figure this out on my own. We had our house tested 3 times before the 3rd time came back. Get out of the house. This is bad. This is serious. So if I would have only listened to the first 2, I would have gotten even sicker. And I could talk so much about mold, Nikki, but the long-term side effects of mold, toxic mold exposure can be devastating. I still deal with it because I have what's called multiple chemical sensitivity because of this. I can't be around things like fabric softener or a lot of chemical fragrances, especially those Glade plugins, and a lot of like carpeting and things that will absorb the scent, and then you just spray Febreze on it to get rid of the odor. Well, what is Febreze? Febreze is a chemical cocktail designed to cover the problem, just like prescriptions. And I, like you, I do believe God created doctors and nurses like you. So sometimes you break your arm. All the essential oils in the world aren't going to cure that. You've got to go to the doctor.
Yep, I agree. That was great stuff, Shemane. And I know that I said I wasn't going to keep you very long. We have 3
That's okay.
3 minutes. You're doing great. I sort of want to plug, and at the end, we're going to say your website and we're going to say this text number again. But I want to plug because it goes along so well. And have you seen this, the new book?
No, that's gorgeous. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I recovered book 1 to look just like this, only it's green.
Love it.
It's green. Okay, so your motto, and I don't know if I just saw this on your website or if your first book was this, but it really goes in line, and I think it's like happy, healthy, something like that. Was there a cookbook or is it a catchphrase or anything like that?
There's a lot of things, Nikki. We have a cookbook. We need to come out with a 2nd edition because in the cookbook we wrote, I think it was about 20 years ago. A lot of things have changed and I want to do more. But I have another book called Married to a Rock Star. Again, I need to do a 2nd edition of that. And my next book, my second edition of 4 Minutes a Day, Rock and Roll Your Way to Happy, is coming out in December. And it's all about, honestly, you and I connect on such a great level because we're all about happiness and health and faith. And that's really what I want to preach. And I wanted to share one thing. You know that it talks about mold in the Bible many times. What I've recently discovered, I'm trying to get in depth, and I'd love for you to expand on this. If you know about Leviticus, it talks about if you have mold in your house, you should do X, Y, and Z. I feel like that is not just a numbered, we need to do number 1, then number 2, then number 3. I feel as though it's a guideline that if you have your house in order, then so many other things will fall in place. If you can do X, Y, and Z, if you can get your house in order, if you can take care of your home life, your family, then the world is your bucket. I mean, you can do everything that you need to do in life.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And it is one of the Bible verses inside of the book, and it's referenced exactly the same way. And that's a great way for us to kind of close out and let you just recap what it is you do. But I'm going to just say, heading out of here, you guys, this is just a little add-on because we had 3 people reach out about their homes and how toxic some of the perfumes and stuff are in there, and then also mold. So thank you, Shemane, for being with us.
Welcome.
We want you guys to have happy homes. I want you to have a home that is filled with truth and light, a home that takes away darkness and takes away the things that aren't good, that aren't feeding you, that you're not breathing in goodness, and just kind of replace it all with as sound and healthy things that you can, all things that come from and of God. All right.
Get rid of the chemical fabric softeners and chemical fragrances out the door. You don't need them.
No, and fake foods. Get rid of
fake foods, preservatives in your foods. Get back to nature. The closer you can get to the hoof, the ground, or the tree, the better.
Oh, and that is such a Nugent thing to say. I know. All right. So go ahead and share your website and your text number one more time.
Okay. My website is shemanenugent.rocks, and it's spelled SHEMANE, Nugent, NUGENT.rocks. And I've got links to videos that I've talked about why you need to get rid of chemically scented candles. So go check out that website. I talk a lot about mold. I'll have updates about my documentary and my book there. And I'd love to continue this conversation with you, Nikki, too. And for those people who want to vote and help support me in my endeavor, my Dancing with the Local Stars event that takes place tomorrow night, voting is good up until 9:30 p.m. Saturday, November 9th. And you can vote by texting 52182, and in the comment section write Dancing 2019. You'll be taken to another link. Look for a picture of me in a pretty pink dress and click vote.
Okay, we will do. Thank you very much. And thank you for being with us on another episode of Live in Life Within the Sweet Spot. Cool.
Bye.
You're done. I hope I got your bye on there. That's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording here.